On the 28th of November 1920, in Kilmichael, County Cork, 36 volunteers from local flying columns, led by Tom Barry, then a rising star in the 3rd Cork Brigade of the IRA, ambushed and killed 16 Ugsies. 3 volunteers were killed in that operation. This song is dedicated to those men, the boys of Kilmichael. Whilst we honour in song and in story the memory of Pierce and McBride, whose names are illumined in glory with the martyrs that long since have died. Oh, forget not the boys of Kilmichael feared not the might of the foe. On the day that they marched into battle, they laid all the black and tans low. On the 28th day of November, the tans left the town of Macroom. They were seated in Crossley tenders, which brought them right into their doom. They were on the high road to Kilmichael, never expecting to stall. 'Twas there that the boys from the column, they made a clear sweep of them all. So forget not the boys of Kilmichael feared not the might of the foe. On the day that they marched into battle, they laid all the black and tans low. The sun in the west, it was sinking. 'Twas the eve of a cold winter's day, when the tans we were eagerly waiting sailed into the spot where we lay. And over the hills went the echo, the peal of the rifles and guns, and the smoke from the lorries bore tidings that the boys from Kilmichael had won. So forget not the boys of Kilmichael feared not the might of the foe. On the day that they marched into battle, they laid all the black and tans low. The battle being over at twilight, and there in that glen so obscure, we threw down our rifles and bayonets and made our way back to Grandeur. And high over Dunman with me boys, they sang of the brave and the true, of the men from Tumbarry's bold column who conquered the red, white and blue. So forget not the boys of Kilmichael feared not the might of the foe. On the day that they marched into battle, they laid all the black and tans low. There are some who will blush at the mention of Connolly, Pearse and McBride, and history's new scribes in derision the pages of valour deny. But sure, here's to the boys who cried freedom when Ireland was nailed to the mast, and they fought with Tumbarry's bold column to give us our freedom at last. So forget not the boys of Kilmichael feared not the might of the foe. On the day that they marched into battle, they laid all the black and tans low. Up the rebels.
The dreadful news through Ireland has spread from shore to shore Of such a deed no living man has ever heard before. The deeds of Cromwell in his time, I'm sure no worse could do than those tans and brabs that murdered those 4 ewes in Killaloe. 3 of the 4 were on the run and searched for all around, until with this brave Egan in Williamstown was found. They asked him were the rest in sight, to the rebels he proved true, and because he would not sell the pass, he was shot in Killaloe. On the 4th day of November, a day of sad renown, they were sold and traced from Galway to a place, St. Williamstown. They never got a fighting chance, but were captured while asleep. And the way that they ill-treated them would cause your blood to creep. They shackled them, both hands and feet, with twines they could not break. And they brought them down to Killaloe by steamer on the lake, with no clergy, judge, nor jury. On that bridge they shot them down, and their blood flowed with the Shannon, convenient to the town. With 3 days of perseverance, their bodies they let go. At 10 p.m. their funeral passed through Mogonalow. They were held in Scariff Chapel for 2 nights and a day, and in that place of rest they lay, and people formed to pray. If you were at their funeral, it was an awful sight, for to see the local clergy, and they all dressed up in white. Such a sight as these 4 martyrs in one grave was never seen, for they died to free the flag they loved, the orange, white and green. Now that they are dead and gone, I hope in peace they rest, like all young Irish martyrs, forever among the blessed. The day will come when all will know who sold their lives away, of young McMahon and Rogers, brave Egan and Gilday.
I was just a good old country boy when I left that dusty town. Route 66 to the westward, and I hopped an old freight down. California, here I come, by a side door pullman and a sunburned thumb. They call us Okies, low-down bums, the police on us frown. Never tired of the road, never tired of the rolling wheels, never tired of the ways of the world. Way out yonder it's calling me. And the dark road leads me onward, and the highway, that's my code. When I hear that lonesome voice in my head say, never tire of the road. California to the New York Islands, me and my guitar. I played in many a hobo jungle, many a skid row bar. Standing out in the wind and the rain, the lonesome whistle is a sweet refrain when you're waiting on an old freight train that carries an empty car. Never tire of the road, never tire of the rolling wheels, never tire of the ways of the world. Way out yonder it's calling me, and the dark road leads me onward, and the highway, that's my code. When I hear that lonesome voice in my head say, never tire of the road. I sailed aboard a Liberty ship that sailed the ocean blue. We were carrying guns, TNT, and D-Day soldiers too. All the boys aboard agreed with Johnny, Ronnie, Cisco and me. A song that rang across the sea, you fascists bound to lose. All of you fascists bound to lose. All of you fascists bound to lose. All of you fascists bound to lose. You bound to lose, you fascists bound to lose. Never tire of the road, never tired of the rolling wheels, never tire of the ways of the world. Way out yonder it's calling me, and the dark road leads me onward, and the highway, that's my code. When I hear that lonesome voice in my head say, never tire of the road. Never let them fool you or take you by surprise. Never trust a politician or the man with greed in his eyes. One big union, that's our plan, and the IWW's your only man. The flames of discontent we'll fan for the cause that never dies. Never tire of the road, never tire of the rolling wheels, never tire of the ways of the world. Way out yonder it's calling me, and the dark road leads me onward, and the highway, that's my code. When I hear that lonesome voice in my head say, never tire of the road. When I hear that lonesome voice in my head say, never tire of the road.
An incredible amount. Let me tell you a story. You want to hear a great credit story?
Of course I do.
I got a great credit. So we invested in the Bank of Ireland, okay? The Bank of Ireland, and we bought their bonds, subordinated bonds. And the Bank of Ireland said they were having equity guys invest in the Bank of Ireland, and they wanted to cram us down, okay? And we said, no, you can't cram us down because we'll buy the equity. So we took them.
What, they thought you were just a debt guy?
They thought, well, we go to, we'll play the game. So we went and, we were going to go in English and Irish courts to fight the Bank of Ireland and fight the Irish government for that matter. So, we owned this debt and we fought them, we won. The debt was trading at 40, 50 cents, and this was just, we finally won at the beginning of this year, okay? So the debt was trading 40, 50 cents even last year, 50, 60, something like that. So the Bank of Ireland this year goes and issues a new issue of the same debt, same coupon debt, maybe 2 years shorter, okay? So they issued his debt at par, I don't know, it was a month and a half ago, okay? Same coupon, same thing. The debt now is trading at 115, Okay, this is a company. This is a company and a government that want to cram us down. And they came in here and we bought it. Now, the only reason it's worth buying is because we fought it and we won.
A weekend retreat in the Hamptons, Long Island is every young stockbroker's dream. They buy and they sell and they yell till they get what they want. So when Mr. Tepper was browsing some brochures, he chanced on a mansion supreme at 44 million. It was really a steal. But when Mr. Tepper looked out at the sea, a sand dune obstructed his view. So he tore down the mansion, built one twice as big, all paid for by me and by you. The view from my mansion, it's not so appealing. Some skeleton houses, a washed away road. And the government says Mr. Tepper must get what he's owed. They closed down the school in the next village over to pay Mr. Tepper his dues. The government said it wouldn't be nice to refuse. And with all that money, the great Mr. Tepper, he built a fine school of his own, where young people go in the hope they'll be great just like him. They'll learn about hedge funds and bond yields and stuff, things I don't understand. They learn how to never say I have enough, just grab all you can with both hands. Now that little school in the next village over, the children asked why when the doors were all closed. And the government said Mr. Tepper must get what he's owed. Well, now and again, the fine Mr. Tepper turns up on Bloomberg TV. He'll talk of the Steelers, he might even sing you a song, where other bondholders might show some respect, a glimmer of guilt for 1,000,000 lives wrecked. Not Mr. Tepper, he'll brag and he'll boast all day long of great credit stories, of playing the game, of annexing countries with ease, how he and his army just won't be crammed down, how people are brought to their knees. So when you look out at your fine ocean view, beyond the horizon we're thinking of you. 'Cause the government says Mr. Tepper must get what he's due.
On the 14th of October 1920, Sean Tracy, a commander of the 3rd Tipperary Brigade of the IRA, was ambushed on Talbot Street in Dublin by British agents. A gun battle soon ensued. 3 of the agents were shot, 2 wounded, 1 killed. And Sean Tracy was shot in the head and he died almost instantly. He was 25 years old. Oh, the moon shone down old Dublin town when the deadly fight was o'er. Thousands lay on the cocoa ground, their lives to claim no more. The moon shone down in old Talbot Street, where an Irish rebel lay, with his body gashed and his arms outstretched, and his life's blood flowing away. A passing comrade heard the moans, the sufferer soon was found. Softly, gently he raised his head up from the cocoa ground. Softly, gently, comrade, he cried, no longer on earth can I stay. Oh, I'll never more roam through my own native home, Tipperary, so far away. His comrades gathered around him to bid him a last farewell. He was as true and as brave as a lad that ever in battle fell. They dug a grave and in it they laid the bones of Sean Tracy so brave. Oh, he'll never more roam through his own native home, Tipperary, so far away. Oh, he'll never more roam through his own native home, Tipperary, so far away.
It's said that Queen Victoria was as round as she was tall, and when it came to banqueting, she could out-eat them all. She'd trawl through 7 courses in 30 minutes straight, and ask about the Irish once she'd licked the 7th plate. She told the Royal Treasury to send £2,000 to show her starving subjects that their Queen's love knew no bounds. A few crumbs from her table and her conscience was appeased, when the poor man's famine was the rich man's feast. A Sultan Lord of Turkey, he heard of Ireland's plight, took pity on the Irish, and to the Queen did write. Your Majesty, I'd like to send £10,000 to feed your subjects in Hibernia in their time of need. But the Christian Queen could not be bettered by a Muslim Moor, so she told him that he could not send a greater sum than her. To save the royal blushes, his charity decreased, when the poor man's famine was the rich man's feast. Across the wild Atlantic, a noble people dwell, and in the name of progress suffer their own hell. Driven from their homeland by ruthless profiteers, the Choctaw died in thousands all along the Trail of Tears. On hearing of the starving isle across the ocean wide, they gathered every cent they had and sent it on the tide. For they had known a hunger like their brothers to the east, when the poor man's famine was the rich man's feast. Now blight is often quoted as the root of Ireland's woes, but enough to feed this country 2 times over left these shores. The army guarded ports from Donegal to Bantry Bay, so British ships could safely carry Irish food away. And the good Queen's chief economist, Lord Nassau, couldn't hide his bitter disappointment when just 1 million died. Oh, the blood of the Irish kept the wheels of commerce greased, when the poor man's famine was the rich man's feast. A century has come and gone, still we never learn that decency is cast aside where profits are concerned. It's not with food but water that they try to beat us down. Gone is Queen Victoria, King Dennis wears the crown. And under some delusion that the markets just might care, our government play middlemen to gambling billionaires, while the rich avoid their taxes and the working man is fleeced. Then the poor man's famine's still the rich man's feast. And what we allow continues as history repeats. And the poor man's famine's still the rich man's feast.
to offer you is blood, sweat and tears. That's what it's gonna take to roll back the years. The world and the wealth it yields is what we stand to gain. Our time is coming now when we throw off the chains. There are no easy answers to what lies ahead. No simple solutions in any book that's read. Until the people take back what is theirs by right. We have no time for rest, my friends. We must keep up the fight. All we have to offer you is blood, sweat and tears. That's what it's gonna take to roll back the years. The world and the wealth it yields is what we stand to gain. Our time is coming now when we throw off the chains. Everything that we enjoy we had to demand. An 8-hour day a weekend, money in your hand. They're coming for it all, my friends. The time has come to show the power of working people. United on we go. All we have to offer you is blood, sweat and tears. That's what it's gonna take. Roll back the years. The world and the wealth it yields is what we stand to gain. Our time is coming when we throw off the chains. Our time is coming now when we throw off the chains.
Years ago, on the 1st of November, at 8 a.m, Kevin Barry, a young Irish Republican, at the age of 18, was hanged by forces of the Crown. He was a member of the then newly formed H Company, the 1st Battalion, Dublin Brigade. In Mountjoy Jail one Monday morning, high upon the gallows tree, Kevin Barry gave his young life for the cause of liberty. Just a lad of 18 summers, yet there's no one can deny, as he walked to death that morning, he proudly held his head up high. Just before he faced the hangman in his dreary prison cell, British soldiers tortured Barry just because he would not tell all the names of his brave comrades and other things they wish to know. Turn farmer or we'll kill you. Cavan Barry answered no. Calmly standing to attention as he bade his last farewell to his broken-hearted mother, whose sad grief no one can tell. For the cause he proudly cherished, this sad parting had to be. Then to death went proudly smiling, that his country might be free. Another martyr for old Ireland, another murder for the crown, whose cruel laws may crush the Irish, but can't keep our spirit down. Lads like Barry are not cowards, from their foes they will not fly. Lads like Barry will free Ireland, for her cause they live and die. 100 years on.